This man took gunpowder from a grenade and injured himself. After that, he was burned in the fire, causing a lot of pain. Everyone thought he was crazy, but in fact, he was the most outstanding general of the peacekeeping forces. He was going to live a peaceful life, so he opened a restaurant in his hometown. So the guys who were crazy didn't let him go. They caught the dream of an innocent poet. Not only that, this guy also discovered the name of the monster, which is the one who killed his ex-wife. So this guy is scared to what extent? The journey of the reporter comes later. Please watch a super product. This guy is Dai Chung, a world-class sniper, and at the same time the leader of the peacekeeping forces in Southeast Asia. After thousands of battles, Dai Chung has made it difficult to know 3 scary names because there is no place to hide. That's why his body is covered with wounds. Everyone thought that he only knew how to sell guns, but even the short-range guns he also knew. Not only that, out of the care of Fulong, Dai Chung also has an extremely powerful 5 shots, so he can challenge any opponent and carry out any crime of any kind. Today, he and his team are organized to perform the task of protecting one of the members. That is, the head of the Ministry of Environment, Thai Lei, has signed a contract to take over the land that Dai Chung Bon, Ma Tun has rented in Tam Kiak Vang. When the 2 big brothers congratulated each other on the success of the cooperation, it was no surprise that a female employee was going to pull out the gun to assassinate. When they discovered this, the girl ran away and immediately held the big brother's hand. It turned out that the horror team had recovered. Right after that, there were some guys from the outside rushing in. Not to mention any words. The whole team was very compatible with the guy. Suddenly, the big brother's heart stopped beating. He dared to look at Lisa, who had a high spirit. Dai Chung, on the other side of the scene, discovered that dozens of students were coming. To protect the safety of the whole team, he ordered everyone to hurry up and take the minister away. With his talent, Dai Chung only needed to use 1 shot to send a guy to the southwestern corner. At the same time, Sister Dave Lisa, along with 3 brothers, rushed out on a bloody road. The men who ran into where were shot in the head. It's not difficult to kill them. However, when the whole team was about to leave, Dai Chung immediately stopped. Too bad. There were still a few guys blocking the back door, so they had to hurry up. Without giving up, the 4 brothers and Dai Chung gave each of them a few bullets. But this mess is too crowded, so no one dares to ignore the warning. Inside, a woman with a very bold pat on the back is shooting down to the 2nd floor. But no one on the outside knows about this. Immediately, Added Doing Nong immediately searched for the target. However, the purpose of her was to be harmed by the hands of the Minister of Security, the Minister of Resources and Environment. Some teachers are making Mr. Hung Newt, the general of the team, look for it. However, it was not possible to discover the hidden location. Immediately, he ordered the leader at HNL Laojia to be the target. Suddenly, the hand of the... However, Dai Chung fired first, but his bullets hit Adadisheng Nong's head on the first day. Seeing it safe, he immediately ordered the whole team to get out of the car lane to play the game of chess. As it was delicious, the guys in the back were still longer than that guy, and immediately followed. Dai Chung, on the other side, sold a pair of gloves to the opposite side of the team. After that, one hand ran the rope, one hand held the gun, then jumped straight into the car box in a magical way. Although AHHA has increased the number of people who want to play the game of chess, the opponents are all people, so there is no way to cut the tail. Moreover, they still have machine guns on their heads, so the attack is no different from the storm. However, on the road he lost, but on the road, Dai Chung beat them all. With many years of experience in traffic in Vietnam, to protect the minister from safety, he ordered H. Dai to be the one holding his car in front of the opponent's car. As soon as the opportunity came close, Dai Chung encouraged them to play a game of chess. With his talent, he also gave the guy holding the machine gun in the second car to bear the same fate. For more excitement, he ordered HHI to speed up and then drive straight to the opponent's back and fire. At the same time, a guy on the third car drove the rocket 1 hour late, but fortunately, the 2 cars were able to avoid it. Akai was still the old bird. Dai Chung told HNI to turn the car faster than his brother, then went back and forth to face the enemy's horse-riding horse. After that, he pulled out his gun and took a breath of breath to make a round of the wind. The wind blew through the window of the guy holding the steering wheel, then blew 1 more circle into the blue screen to make them a nightclub. Upon receiving the news of the plan to assassinate the loser, he also added a strange wedding party. The woman who sold the gun followed the call of the king. The name of the horrible monster Sang Lang was very angry and vowed to revenge. If not, he would not be human. On the other side, after completing the task, the team chased each other to do some karaoke tricks. The other brothers were very angry, but Dai Chung denied it again because he was hoping to go home with his wife and daughter. While going there, Dai Chung found out that there was a suspicious guy. That's why the boy named Sang Lang came to revenge. Although there was a gun in his hand, this guy seemed to not be hungry. A guy was trying to climb out of the bed, but he could not avoid it. In the narrow space, Dai Chung treated these 2 guys well. His hand was no different from the one he gave to this guy. After that, Dai Chung put his hands on the dry wood, and they tried to stand up. But the gunman shot them to kill the king. In the room, there was a murderer in the room. Aho found out that he took the gun and took a picture. However, too much effort caused him to have to go to the other side of the world. Knowing that there was a ghost, the other 2 brothers, Chung Fuan and Chung Fan, took the initiative to attack. No one claimed to be the first gun. Although suffering before the death of the team, the 2 people still cooperated very well, leaving a few guys on the outside. Cannot stay here long, and know that it is very possible that the murderer has disappeared. Chung Tuan and Chung Thun took the minister to the yard to find a way to escape. Lisa, the old tree, led Dai Chung to the battle with these guys. However, they did not know that the dragon was attacking from above. When running to the next door, it was surprising that Chung Thuan shot them in the neck. Chung Thon returned to the rescue, planning to lure the team to a hidden place, but also had to follow the fate. The guy came out of his hand but could not kill. Hearing the sound of the gun, Dai Chung and Lisa ran up. However, if he took the first shot, he would be shot to death. To save the two brothers, Dai Chung took a picture of the body of the dead. The guy ran out and hit the dragon. He used the gun when attacking, but the target was too far away, so no one could hit it. However, Dai Chung was moved very quickly, causing the dragon to give up his hand to hit the child. Han Tan realized that this was so he continued to run out and hold the enemy. The gun was at the bottom, but facing the gun at the top was no different from the big table. However, throwing the rifle was even more humiliating. Dai Chung stood on the edge of the net and was shot to death by Han Tan. Immediately the dragon ran away, thinking that everything was over. But Han did not expect that Dai Chung was still alive. When Han woke up, the doctor said that he was lucky to have this money to save his life. It turned out that this was the coin that the girl gave to him, and he always put it in his pocket. During the time of confusion, before leaving the team, Dai Chung quickly took the coin and immediately ran away with the intention of the reporter in the night. His wife chased after him and was not lucky to be hit by a motorbike on the way. From then on, Dai Chung only looked at his wife on the table. 8 years later, he left the army and opened a noodle shop in Thailand. Kiki's daughter has become a tall and more beautiful woman this year. However, due to the lack of fatherly care, the girl fell in love too soon with a man named Hao Nam. Tonight, he will take Andy to drink tattoo, but now please help me deliver a package. Without bringing it to the store, the girl quickly went away. At a toy store, Kiki received a sample in a paper box. It was intended to be delivered right away, but when she went straight home, the girl saw the big brother waiting for the noodles. So she immediately opened the door to enter the store for the father. At this time, the neighbor's wife passed by. He saw the two of them struggling, so he immediately put his package down and helped one hand. After picking up all the noodles, the wife left, but held a box of Kiki's sample paper that no one knew about. The girl did not notice, so she immediately closed the door and went to deliver. However, Kiki did not know that the toy factory she had just arrived in was the biggest ghost factory in Thailand. They hid the white box in the dolls, but the ghost did not know that the ghost was not good either. The owner of this chain is Mao Chach Tay. Not only has wings all over the place, but he also rents a dragon to protect himself. 8 years ago, Han did not want the government to take over the land in Kansao, in town Zhangvang, so he sent the fierce army of Xiang Long to assassinate the minister. It is true that the small police on the banks of the Mai Thu River suddenly stopped the name of the big brother. Du Bao, in charge of the transaction, received a call from Mao Chach Tay, saying that you haven't played your father yet. Why did you send the medicine to the guest? That black magic box I made from Kansai has become a heart on the snow, which has a value of 10 times normal. Understand? Big brother, don't worry, I will check again. Right after that, Du Bao asked his brother to go to the ancient tomb of his younger brother Hao Nam to ask. However, he also did not know where that number was. After being caught in a battle like death, life and death, Hao Nam opened the door that day. I asked my lover to deliver the goods to the guests. Immediately, when Kaiki went to school, they immediately came to the house. The three evil guys hugged Tung Kanthong but did not see the white line. The blood of the dog ran up to the brain. The name of the leader used a gray hair to press the bow. However, Heiki did not know and was still wailing in a dream, not knowing what happened. This guy does not like flowers, so he put his head in the heat and kicked the girl. After that, Kiki was kicked out of the car to take him to the pond. Lao Ba witnessed this scene, only knowing the chaos, but could not stop. A while later, the general sold the goods waiting for him, only the right thing to do. Lao Ba said that he caught a car. In front of it, there was a rope with the shape of a Buddha. Knowing that the girl only had one friend, Hao Nam, the general searched around and saw a picture of the two brothers and sisters together in front of the store. Immediately, he looked for the place and asked the owner about the information of this young man. However, Lao Ta, as usual, could not answer. Only when the general used a strong method, he was able to open the door. Hao Nam often came back to the people at the end of the street. When he found out that the car had a rope with the shape of a Buddha, he realized that they had caught his daughter. At the same time, a guy chased him away. He ate a few sausages, then went inside. The general hit the second name. He had to lie dead. The two names opened the door. There was a hole, then he came out. AIG had to lie down as big as the liver. As soon as he was done, he gave them all the bones. Seeing a guy with a gun, the general ran down for Han to answer immediately at the battle. To quickly solve the chaos of the street, the general went blind, then went into the weapon compartment. There were many in his hands. He told these guys to know that once he was bleeding, don't ask who his father was. Then, a guy put his hand down on the table. The two guys wore thin clothes, trying to pick up the gun, all over the place. But the general was in a hurry to sell the gas bottle for them to shoot the whole store. When the general was fighting the shrimp noodle battle, the general went to see what happened. He thought the general was lying down and didn't shoot. The gun went down. He didn't shoot the head. Where is my daughter? Before the general's threat, the general was still huffing and puffing. Throw my daughter out. If not, this place will become a nightmare. The general stood up and said, your father-in-law is watching. Just then, the general's name came in. However, they didn't know who they were fighting with. So quickly, both of them were killed. The three guys outside suddenly appeared. But how could they eat the general? The general shot them, but the two guys ran away. When they went inside, they saw that each of the guys had taken Kiki to the car to escape. Too angry, the general was about to slap his daughter. However, Hao Nam cried a river and said, let me have a chance. Right after that, Mr. Kan led his future father-in-law to meet a big brother. Before that, Kiki gave the box to Han. Are you bored or what? Where is my daughter? Not used to. Good. Not many words. The general immediately went out of control. The men were about to enter, but Hao Nam stopped them. He kept saying that this guy didn't want to open the box. The general was angry with himself. threw the beer straight into the mouth for Han, using all his teeth to eat the porridge. On the other side, the general said that Kiki had brought Kiki to tell the general that the general was about to escape. The general couldn't see anything, and the man was full of scars. Are you bored or what? Where is my daughter? I caught that guy's daughter. When the general was sleeping, there was a sudden call. I thought it was the general's name, but it turned out to be the general. Throw my daughter out. Not to eat the general. Your daughter is very pretty, but if you don't have the general, I will give it to Tintin. The next morning, the general went to meet me at the port of Bao Huang. After saying that, Han turned off the camera and said that the general was afraid of that guy. If you see a package, you have to bring it here. On the other side, Hao Nam jumped in and said that he should check the camera to see how. Immediately home, the general discovered that the old woman had taken Kiki's product yesterday. The two men immediately flew to the place, then opened the package and saw a balloon inside. The result was not wrong. The trick of the game was a $1 million bag of instant noodles. When the three of them didn't know what to tell the police, or what to do at that time, the general's horror name, Zhanglong, threw the gun and went away. Not only did he discover the magic bag, but Han also realized that the general was the one who had married his ex-wife. Not dead yet. Now I have to go to the grave. Zhanglong shot the gun, but the general felt cold, so he could escape. He looked through the box and saw that there was a fortune teller. There was a group of people on the bottom of the box. The general hurried to put a flower in the hand of a man to steal the gun. Knowing that they had spent a lot of money to buy a coffin, he sent a few guys to buy a grave. He tried to get down to escape, but there were 20 more names on the box. A new battle took place. Zhanglong was still lying. However, with his extremely gentle family, the general didn't have to stop one guy. He just ran in and gave him a face. The guy broke his neck. The guy gave him a blow to the back. With a knife, the general stabbed everywhere to find a pair of scissors. The guy saw a lot of guys around him, so he used a gun to stab him in the back. Unable to observe the target, Zhanglong came down to the front. After a long battle, the general finally defeated all of them. Instead, he was hit by Zhanglong to the back of his head. Han pulled the gun out, but the general escaped. Not giving up, Zhanglong gave his men to shoot and chase. In a street, the general tried to run to the side of the room so as not to hurt innocent people. No one ran into the box, so he had to move to another direction. So Zhanglong pulled the gun out to shoot from afar. The general hugged a young man, but the bullet hit the head of another person. At the same time, the Thai police also arrived. Zhanglong quickly kicked the bell, and the general was out of control. Unable to explain to the death of the people, the general was found 3 times in his pants. So he stole the anti-corruption gun and shot a policeman. The general was furious and ran away. For the time being, he had not been exposed, so he immediately returned home to treat the wound. At the same time, the general also realized that the murderer today was the one who chased. After taking a clean shower, he took the gun out, put it on the wound, then lit a fire to hold the blood. This is how the general was treated in the army. Every time he was not taken to the doctor to treat him in time. At the same time, the man appeared and said, I want to go with you to save Kiki. Anyway, this is also because of me. The general shook his head and asked, do you really love my daughter? Then maybe not, but my love for Kiki has never changed. Hearing these words, the general felt that this young man seemed sincere, so he agreed. He tore up the wallpaper, then took all the weapons that had been hidden for 8 years in the house to fight. From long guns to short guns, or he looked far away. Everything is to prepare for tomorrow's battle. When the sun was just about to rise, it was time for the two of them to fight to the limit. To continue, the two people, Mao Chai-te had killed Bao Wei from the side. The younger brother of Hao Nam was assigned by the general to guard, and he would come to talk to them. He saw that there were too many of them. If he threw a gun, he would not dare to touch the grass, so the general decided to take advantage of the land of the beast and hit the grass. There was a man who came close to prepare for the sad ending. He told the young man to go back and pick up the tree, but he suddenly ran out. Moving on to the next steps, the general went inside. He quickly cut off the roots of the roots, then gave the whole body the name of Taliel. Hao Nam said that there was a name on the top that was referring to the situation. The general jumped on the fence, then hit it with a knife. Then, Mr. Tiwu Li Fidao and the opposite guy approached and went inside. The young man also quickly pressed his father-in-law to help. At this time, the general was able to use his great skill as a bandit. He killed the guys on the ground for them to take off the dog suit. Hao Nam also did a good job. The opportunity has come. The two of them immediately went straight to the roof of the house. The general's hand held a few 41 holes to get close to the close range. Inside, the general knew that the potential customers had come, so he trained the younger brother to welcome them. However, before they got tired, the two of them dropped their guns down. The general quickly made quickly. With his deep fighting skills, Mr. Dinu shot for this guy. Hao Nam never used a gun, but it turned out to be quite something. It can be said that the two of them were very interested in letting their guns go to the other side of the world. Too old, because the bullets hurt the younger brother. The general immediately fired a gun at the attack. Didn't want the dangerous dog to die. The general had to run to the other side to protect him. Out of the general's heart, the general did nothing else. He pulled the pug for this guy to come to the side. The guy went to the shore. The guy went down the river. Mr. Din was overwhelmed by the younger brother. Mao Chai-te hurried out of the middle and said, "You're good. Give me the bread. Everything seems to be over. I won't sell it now." For the sake of his own safety, the general immediately appeared. Seeing that Shanglong was attacking the upper side, the brother threw the gun at the head of the line. The money was given away. "Where is my money?" The general immediately ran out to give it to them. One name on the test. The result is correct. Knowing that Mao Chai-te and these guys received the goods, they would not forgive themselves. So, the general made the plan from the beginning. When Shanglong was about to pull the trigger, Hao Nam lied to the old man. In this opportunity, the general pulled the gun 1,000 times and shot several guys. Then he ran to save the girl. However, Mao Chai-te had shot the bomb on the chest, so there was only 1 minute left to explode. Hao Nam could not eat Shanglong. Instead, the general shot the gun to lure Han Ta. After that, the two brothers quickly escaped. The person that Xianglong wanted to kill was the general, so Han Lian hurried to follow. Wearing a bomb on the chest, Kiki's face was cut without blood. If this bomb exploded, the two grandfathers would only have a way to transfer the money to the king's house. But with the experience of 3 years of his anti-terrorism, anything that has nothing to do with the general is just a nose. In the last few seconds, he cut the right wire and made the bomb ineffective. Bo took off and went down the river to look for the escape route. On the other side, Mao Chai-te had a line in his hand, leading Xianglong to retreat. However, Han Ta wanted to chase him and kill him, so he immediately acted alone, abandoning the king. Immediately after that, the general gave Mao Chai-te a few bullets to end Han Ta's death. Xianglong heard the sound of the gun and knew that the general was upstairs. The two sides were facing each other. Then suddenly Mao Chai-te woke up. He was about to talk, but was shot in one shot. It turned out that the old man had sent AKA here. When all three were about to go to the supercar to escape, the old man was shot by Xianglong. Before leaving, he said that the children saw the new glasses of the old man, cool or not. After saying that, he stopped breathing, making the general very excited. The young brother-in-law probably woke up in the future and left, and I stayed to revenge for the old man. Quickly take the bullets, then find a place to hide. The two sides decided to die with each other, one by one. Xianglong wanted to save the general, so he sold the gun. The gun was empty. The general took advantage of it, but was discovered. Both guns hit each other. At this time, the general thought of the dead brothers, and even the old man. As for Xianglong, the old tree was the source of revenge for the one he loved. The defense was only temporary, and the new class was forever. Both stood up to face each other. Xianglong shot first, and the general shot later. However, the general's bullet made the opponent's bullet hit the gun, and Han was stuck in the middle of death, lying on the ground. Han's bullet made the general look cooler than a treasure. Finally, everything was over. The general went to the police station to report that the case of Mai Thui, the largest woman in Southeast Asia, was destroyed. From then on, he returned to cook noodles to raise children. Kiki was happy with the younger brother Hao Nam. Through the film, we can see that somewhere, there are still a lot of people who are willing to sacrifice their lives for the peace of mankind. The criminals are still on the run. However, those who do evil things and play tricks will definitely receive a bitter ending. So let's avoid death, guys. Kiki already has Hao Nam, and Mo doesn't have any ghosts. Black hair, red heart, close to younger brother. Do you like me? That's all for today's film. The name of the film is at the beginning of the description, so that you can search on Google to see the full set. If you think this video is good, don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to support MOL. If you like me to review any other films, please leave your comments below. Thank you all. I love you so much. Bye bye.